Hey, my name is Celeste and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about an extension idea that I have been using for Cambly Kids. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you will consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell so that you are notified of other videos I upload about my life as a wifepreneur. So let's jump right into it. If you are a Cambly Kids tutor, you are very familiar with the primary B lessons. If you're relatively new to Cambly Kids, or maybe you're just beginning the journey of deciding whether or not to be a Cambly Kids tutor, you may not be familiar with that. So let me give just kind of a brief, quick overview of those lessons. So primary B lessons, the students do practice their English skills. They start learning grammar, maybe parts of speech, pronouns, those kinds of things, as well as practicing their reading fluency with different books that we might be reading, talking about predictions, setting characters, titles, and authors as a way to help them with their reading skills. But with that lesson, there is a character named Sammy, and he always navigates his hot air balloon, and it inevitably always gets a hole in the balloon. And the students are always like, why does he always get a hole in his balloon, Teacher Celeste? I don't know. And so Sammy always says, I need to land. And so he lands in this foreign country. And throughout the lesson, mixed in with whether it's a grammar or a book that they are reading, they will be given 4 clues and need to determine which country Sammy has landed in. Typically, those clues are about the food that you might eat in that country, maybe their dress, a particular event, or a famous building. And let's see, sometimes they will talk about a word that maybe is commonly used in that country. So the students have to figure out what country they are in with Sammy. And so this extension idea I've been using to help my students with geographical awareness. I have found that even some of my older students who are new to the English language, therefore they are in primary B, really have a hard time understanding where our countries in the world are located. So let's jump on to my extension idea and let me show you what I've used that has been really successful. It's better than a map because maps are very flat and it's hard to really see where the countries are. So let's jump on and let me show you what I've been using.
Okay, let's jump in onto this particular website that I found. It's earth.google.com, and I will link that below to make it easier for you to navigate and find it more easily. But this is what I use at the end of the lesson when Sammy reveals what country he is in. We'll go over the fun facts that are listed on that screen, the capital city, what they're known for, some other interesting facts that we did not discuss during the lesson. But what I do is, as you can see, this I have made it. I've zoomed in is what I'm trying to say here. So what I'll do is I first will find the country that my student lives in. So this past week my student lived in Saudi Arabia. So I will come over here and highlight that. For screen share, it shows up on blue. And they are very excited to find out what country they live in. We'll review that. I'll say, hey, what country do you live in? And they'll tell me. And then this week, Sammy landed in India. So I will say that from Saudi Arabia, they would cross the Arabian Sea and they would arrive in India. So they were very amazed at really how close on the globe they were to the country that Sammy was in. And then I'll say, well, what country does teacher live in? And they'll say America. And so I will move the earth. You can move it around, rotate it, and we will find the United States. And I will highlight that this is where teacher lives. And I'll even use my cursor over to the general area to show them which part of the US that I live in. So you can also zoom out to get a better view of the entire globe from space. You can see the clouds and the different landforms of what it looks like from space. and they are just mesmerized by this. In fact, I've had parents come and look at the screen because they were just amazed at this, and they enjoyed learning about where different countries were located. I love when Sammy was first in Russia, every class that I've used this with and shown them Russia, they have all said that is a big country. And so it's great to talk about that it is the largest country in the world, and they can see the large land area that that country has. So this has been a great tool for students to realize where they are located in the world and where the countries that we are talking about are located. It really helps with geographical awareness. So I hope that is helpful to you. It's been really fun, and my students who sometimes don't find the SAMI lessons very interesting are really engaged when they know that we're going to use this at the very end. They stick with me and they really love this. So I hope that is helpful to you, and let me know what other tricks or extensions that you use in the SAMI lessons, Primary B. I would love to learn from you. Leave that in the comments below. And if you are not currently a Cambly Kids tutor and would like to be, I have my links below as well as my email address. Feel free to email me and I will be glad to help mentor you through that process. And until next time, happy Saturday and happy